Hello and welcome to another episode of Malt, Magic and More. Do we have the prophecy? Yes, we do. Do we know what to do next? No, we don't. Let's try and figure it out on the Aftershow show.
Hello.
That was a big episode.
It was a big episode.
Very big episode.
It was a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Yeah, it was awesome.
When one of my players turns around in the middle and like literally exasperatedly screams at the Fae that I know I'm doing my job right.
Yeah.
I think Kirik and Dagon were both quite agitated on edge on Monday night. Or they were quite short-tempered or had no patience.
Yeah, I don't know. Last time we were in the Fae, I think we died or something like that. So maybe that had something to do with it.
Teeny weeny little detail.
Like as soon as Matt mentions like, oh, there's like rainbow color, and I was like, oh, well, don't like this. Last time I was there, I died. So no, thank you. I'm all good.
I mean, it completely overshadowed the fact that we had a failed interrogation attempt with the buyer to try and actually get some information. The only nugget of information he let slip was that his son hired him to get the artifact to try to stab him in the back, so he killed him. But neither confirm nor deny who has the artifact, what the artifact was.
Well, what it is, yeah, absolutely.
The only card that could give us is, if we ever need to smooch up to the King of Deluin, we can use that as a bargaining chip.
Yeah, but we only really want to do that to probably say something to get in front of him. And then
I'd still rather behead him.
I was about to say, then it's on guard. You know, then
Yeah.
That's it. Curtains for him, really. I mean,
he didn't tell us nothing, did he? Waste of time. We didn't find out what the Serpent's Cloak mission was. Apparently, they don't have any. So they're literally just mercenaries that happen to have a good spy network.
I mean, to be honest, I don't think it was a waste of
I
time.
thought there was going to be a bit more occultness going on. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, he's not going to suddenly open up to 4 strangers. You know, so I think we got a decent amount of information out of him, and that was quite good. And he got us in, and that was great. You know, that was very impressive.
And we couldn't have used something like Zone of Truth, because then Ander would have just told him everything.
That would have been fucking brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think is also going to ask us for money. I believe that we are going to owe him a favour we already owe him a favour because we got in and we've got it. He never said what we were going to owe him, and I guarantee you
he wanted a
cut.
Coin. He wanted to cut the priceless artifact we said we were going to steal that we never did.
He knew full well that it wasn't going to be some 1,000 platinum goblet. You know, he's not that idiotic. I would say that he would be able to get hands on anything like that. Information is his bag, so he would want a favour or information.
Yeah, like a decade from now when Anders King is going to come knocking.
That's what smart people do, you know.
Yeah.
That's fine. We talked about Ander using the Serpent's Cloak as his underground network anyway, when he became king.
That's true.
So a buyer could be my Varys, like from Game of Thrones.
That's cool.
Kirik is going to be
cool.
like Tyrion Lannister, and then Dagon will be
Hand of the King.
Yeah. You give and then your battle master over here will be
What, the
Doing all
mountain?
sorts of me. Leading the troops, yeah.
The mountain.
Yeah. Just crushing people's heads casually. Spoiler alert.
He'd be more like
For
the
anyone who's
Bothrid.
not seen the fucking shit show that I ended up to be. Sorry. I shouldn't get on a rant
I
about
might
Game of
let-
Thrones, really.
I might let Bothrid retire and just tend the royal gardens.
Yeah,
He'd love that, wouldn't he?
yeah, but can you imagine, like, you know, some guy like sneaking in and finding the gardener, just a level 20
Yeah, yeah.
barbarian?
Bothrid's going to be that
Barbarian
Bothrid's gonna be
druid,
that
just-
NPC. Yeah, that NPC, which is just the
You
the
know,
level 20
Somebody
barbarian
tries to steal
druid.
the turnips and he just
backhand-
fucking
backhands
calls
this
lightning on
teenager
them.
for like 25 hit points.
Backhand
To be
him
fair
into the
though,
next
we've already
week,
come
I think.
across. We thought we were borrowing a horse from just some random farmer. Turned out to be a high-level Horizon Walker.
Exactly.
Didn't necessarily say higher level, I just said he was a Horizon Walker.
I think he's a secret badass. I bet he's about level 10, I would say. 10, 12.
I do wonder how
That's a
many
good guess.
high level NPCs we have come up against.
A lot.
I think
Yeah.
the dwarfs who we paid to look after the lighthouse and to rebuild the door, I bet they're secret badasses.
Jesus, that's taken literally back to like episode 3.
I don't know, they
I
gave
think
away
that's
the
a-
armor that Kirik's wearing for like
I didn't say
1,000
they were
gold or
smart.
whatever it was.
I said they were
Yeah, true.
good fighters.
Very
The
true.
Enchantress,
Ooh.
Mephisto, these are all obvious ones.
Yeah, obviously like Lena
I mean,
and
the-
you know, and what's her name? Can't remember.
Lena
Witch
is
Queen.
a fucking total badass.
Yeah.
Yeah. To be fair though, I bet if the Dryad, she got some trickery shit, and some of the Fae characters we'll come up against when we was in the Fae World last time.
Mhm.
That
Yeah.
Shadow dude, I bet he'd fuck us up.
So that brings me around to a question, right? There were there were two courts in the Fae, the Summer and the Shadow.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So we did.
There is the Summer Court and there's multiple names for the other court. It can be known as the Winter's Court. It can be known. I don't think it's known as the Shadow Court.
Who did we just speak to then? Was it of the other court to the one that Anders in connection with?
They call themselves the Hollow. Do you think they've sprung off and set up their own little faction?
The place you were in, I called a hollow to describe it. And I think the Pixies described it as a hollow.
Well, it's
I mean,
either
it
the
makes sense
Spring
if they were
Court or the
like-
Autumn Court, isn't it?
Yeah, if they were like Winter Court or something. Because up north.
I'm just I'm just thinking about the fact that there was that connection, and also that was the guy who was following us around in the Dark Fae or Under Fae or wherever it was.
Yeah. Is it a bit bad that there was also in a crypt? Do you think there'll be like the Deathly Court, the Deathly Hallows?
Oh, and I suppose we probably should also talk about the fact that she absolutely has our blood to do something.
Yeah.
fuck.
That's gonna
Yeah.
definitely not gonna
Just-
come back
just-
to bite us in the ass
Just
at
putting that
any
out there.
point.
That is
So,
110%
I think it was-
coming back to haunt us.
I think it was Stick that pointed out in the chat on Monday that you never give your name to the Fae, which is one of the fundamental rules to do with all things fairy, which I brought into this game. And the fucking 4 of you were just like, yeah, there's my name. And they're like, do you want my full name? I was like, this is brilliant. I've got so much shit to work with now.
Would you like my social security number? My inside leg measurement?
It's like the ultimate phishing attack.
To be honest, I would rather give them my name than my blood. I'm not going to lie.
Well, now they've got
I
And
both.
you gave them both.
Yeah.
I honestly thought I would. Not that Ander thinks highly of himself, but if I give them more of my blood to get yours back, that would be a sacrifice I was willing to make. But she was like, "Fuck off, that's a shit deal."
It's fine. We'll just all die and have Bothrid reincarnate us.
Yeah, that's true. Or if we can make
Bothrid's
sure
got a lot of
somehow
levels to get.
Then our
We
blood
can have
changes. There you go.
a complete 100% blood transfusion, So then we've not got that blood anymore.
Yeah.
Jump forward many millions of years.
We can invent it.
Kirik
I've
will
got
just
my
go
own-
like. Kirik will just go at 180 and just gilly wall and cast Create Undead. It's fine. Then you won't have blood. You don't have that to worry about.
Just embrace it. Just absolutely 100%
He just creates a
embrace
fucking
it.
undead army and walks into the Feywild.
I mean, that was a complete other end of the spectrum. I was just going to say something minuscule, like I will use the Ioun Stone of Intellect to get like a Mega Mind type brain to solve the problem. You're like, no,
Magneto's helmet so it can't be mind controlled.
and you're like, nah, I'll just kill you and use you as an animated corpse.
Well,
So,
that'd be dark.
do you
think-
that escalated quickly? Hang on a minute.
Yeah, that's Dark Kirik. Corrupted Kirik.
Do you feel any
Mega
better
Kirik.
that we know the 4 parts of the prophecy now?
Do we understand them? Not quite sure.
I think.
So what do you
we're on
think
the
it
right
means?
track.
I think it's basically actually just been tracking what we've been doing while we're here, if that makes sense. I would say personally on the last bit, just going off sort of memory from Monday night, it does mean break the curse. Don't know what that means, and what we were discussing on Monday was quite good. What Danny and Samar were bringing to the table, the ideas of fighting the armies, or maybe trying to get them to fight each other. Aren't they?
And I also think there's going to be something in there about like about the Warriors 3 having to like unify in some way, shape, or form, because it talks about the bloodless kin or something of the sort. So
I think the second part, the third part of the prophecy, the second part of the third part, if you're following, and the fourth part are the pivotal bits for me. So where it says Cold Touch of Raven, Warm Light of Dawn, unite with the courts of those Feyborn, I still think we need to rally the Feywild troops to defeat the enemies that we're facing. And then enemies grow as the quest endures, and all must fall to end the curse. So I think we need to just end the war to end the curse by then uniting the troops of good, which is everyone in Glentwag basically, and the Feywild. But then where it says, so then when we shall end the curse forever changed, I think you were right on Monday where we said the curse has changed from the curse of my ancestor to the curse of what is happening now.
Can I put an ulterior spin on that then, after listening to what you just then said, Danny? Cold Touch of Raven, Kirik. Okay,
Yeah.
the Raven Queen. Warm Light of Dawn, Dargon. Unite with the courts of those Feyborn. Anda. Okay.
Yeah.
I always thought it was that.
But this is the interesting thing that that I got while you were just speaking about it, Danny. Enemies grow as the quest endures. They have done. All must fall to end the curse. What if you spin that around and all 3 of us must fall to end the curse? Because if you then go to the Heroes 3, those ones, once estranged, shall end the curse forever changed. As you said, forever changed. We know the curse has changed, or we believe. Remain them ever of non-blood kin. Basically, we stay in Nylin. Either that we forego our lives back in the real world, that could be a sort of fall, or it could be that we fall to save it.
How do we claim it, though?
Yes. However, as I say, the other way, the original way that you just spoke about, having to defeat all of the enemies to make sure that it falls, is entirely possible and one hell of a massive task.
But I think for me, where it says unite with the courts of those Feyborn, that's referring to more than one person. Which could be me, but then also... So, for example, it could be me. We know who my dad is. We've never explored, and I've never put it in my backstory yet, who my mother is.
Okay.
what about if my mother was... The reason I'm Fey touched is I was born in the Feywild. I'm part Fey, not enough to have the racial traits, but somewhere in the bloodline, a little bit. And my mother was part Fey, and my dad was a human. So what about if my mother's side of the family are the troops that we could call upon, or the banners we could call to arms?
That's very good. I would also maybe point out that if you are in, some sort of marriage with someone from the summer court, what if actually you are related to someone in one of the other courts?
What about actually? That's a good
courts, plural.
And how did they do it in medieval times? Bring two families together through marriage.
Yeah.
So I could just betroth myself to the Dryad spirit, actually, and that would be the summer court sorted.
I do wonder, somehow, whether it also... This is daft and crazy, but what if you actually had to create a temple in Deluin to unite everyone with the touch of Raven? Like it was an actual puzzle piece. Because I was also wondering about the Warm Light of Dawn. Like, how have we found areas where we can actually see each one of those, that I could unite someone, that the Raven Queen, can people get behind them? Well, maybe because there isn't one in Deluin. I don't know. I'm just
maybe
as usual in an escape room trying to overthink all of it.
Yeah. So Matt, you can stop being quiet and give us a clue if you like.
Sorry,
No.
Before that, like now reading it, I think more and more the enemies grow apart. It like almost full relates to the enemies.
Yeah.
Like looking at it and reading it, like it just feels that that's it.
I feel like part 3 of the prophecy is the story arc we've just gone through, almost.
Well, apart from the fact that almost fall to end the curse, that is the now know who.
That's the bit we haven't done
needs
yet.
To fall.
Yeah.
But you're right. We now know who that is. So we're like on line 3 of part 3.
Yeah.
We have the rest ahead of us. And that's one hell of a long way. We've got to get the undead back in their hole. The vampires back in their hole. Sorry, the undead probably destroy whoever's controlling them, which Kirik never saw who. The vampires and all of those undeadish things back in their hole. And the demons just shoved away.
West. Yeah.
They're west and also weirdly east, but I suppose that's maybe just an outcropping, and that's an outpost.
We just need to find every single cleric in Nyland and just have them go around cast banishment on everything.
Well, you let one die.
Yes, that is very true. If we cast banishment at 9th level, that's like... It's like, I think, so 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 6 undead. That's 6 people we can send away every time. And then 8th level, 7th level, 6, Have to rest 8 hours before we can do it again, but
Banish.
Yeah, just banish everyone.
And you get a banish, and you get a banish.
What about when they all come back?
Well, they don't if they're from another.
If they don't belong to the plane they're in, then
they be
so
fucked.
we've essentially completed part 1 of the prophecy. We've actually done that in real life, not just found it, but we've done it. We've done part 2. We've half done part 3, so we just need to do the other half and then part 4. So where do we go next? The Black City.
I think Esmir. Esmir. I think the lake.
I think Esmir. Yeah, I think we just.
So you've completed part 1. At what point have you restored the Land of Honesty?
No, we will restore the Land of Honesty.
Yeah.
Till Heroes 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, what I mean is we've figured out what it means.
Mm-hmm.
And we know what to do with it. Part 2 has happened because we're now the Wardens.
Mm-hmm.
Part 3, we know what we need to do with that. And I do think
either
Ander
that or Matt's
thinks
just given them
that
a massive giveaway that we might need to start, like, I don't know, telling the truth.
Yeah, good luck with Ander. No, you're just reading what he's saying. Don't...
Yeah.
also the land is honest, not the people who live on it. So that's
Clause 33B.
I can restore the land of honesty with a big lie. That's
Wow,
fine.
that's deep.
That's deep. That is deep.
That is deep.
That is what Ander said.
I said it on Monday night. Ander wants the throne that his great granddad had because no one else has had it, and he does see it as the one true throne because everyone else has just made up their own, and that's the only one that's the proper one. So if he has that one, he can claim it.
That's why I think
that is definitely part 3 of the game when you do a massive thing. We raise the island back up, it's empty, and then you've got to start making trades with other people and start realising your own power.
Yeah. And I also think, when I did the deck of many things and I pulled out a card and it just maybe said there's something somewhere that I now know is mine, but I don't know what it was yet. Or I don't know what it'd be interesting when we land near Lake Essamir if I start to feel
that.
Like I get a buzz and I start to feel if that starts happening.
Ooh, while I remember, sorry, this is literally just come into my head because I was thinking about how we would get there and we'd get there on the airship. Somehow, we currently have a airship waiting for us just outside of Mantineer, which if we zoop back, we are going to leave them.
Did they wait?
Fuck.
They waited on the edge of the forest, just over the horizon. So
can't we just do sending to
I can send them a message.
Okay, I'm just reminding us for next week that we must not leave them there for 2 weeks to bartend and do their usual.
True.
Yeah, that's a very good point. That definitely would have happened.
We'll say that Kirik sent a message before he went to bed because he's got sending spells to bed.
Can do. We can do that next week. We can pick that up early next week.
Pick that up early next week. Just make a note because for the love of God, we know what we're like.
Before you click long rest, we're going to do it. Yeah.
Yeah. To be fair, I hadn't even clicked long rest yet. I was just waiting for.
I am actually just gonna erase the deck of many things from my inventory.
Nice.
That's no longer.
It's back with the person who gifted it to you.
Very true. Kind of pissed they didn't pick a card. I really wanted them to pick a card.
It would have been cool, wouldn't it?
Because I want to do it, but Kirik will never do it. But Simone really wants to.
Well, we'll have to see if he can go reclaim the cards, or never know, campaign 2, campaign 3.
I kept going like
Kirik's offspring finds it.
I kept going like every week, being like, is there like a justification for Kirik to use it? But even when it was the siege, I was like,
what?
You could get them out and just drop them, and then have to pick them up.
What if some sort of like thought experiment? So Kirik is surrounded by enemies. All 3 of us are dead and gone, as in 3 failed saving throws. You're on like 5 hit points, or no, you've even bounced to your 1 hit point from using your heart. Do you then use it?
At that point, probably. I think the closest it ever got to was I think the closest it got to was the siege, because I had 1 spell slot left, and I was like, whatever. But
that could have been fun.
Yeah, if it was the wish card, it would have been really fun. But
or wish card had already been gone, would it not?
Yeah, I used it.
Wish cards have already been gone. Yeah, true.
Wish cards gone.
So like, I have no spell slots. Let me summon an avatar of death that I have to fight on my own.
Yeah, with 1 spell slot. Yeah.
Ain't no way that was gonna happen.
So, I do think moving forwards that weirdly we go to the lake. I don't know how we can get to the lake, but we can't really get to the sunken island.
I can swim underwater and breathe underwater with the cloak.
So you can do that.
For how long?
That's a very good question. If it says like 1 minute, I'll be fucking livid. Let me check. Hopefully an hour. I've also got Potion of Aqueous Form. I could turn into a puddle.
Just checking who can cast water breathing.
I'm going to say water breathing and
I know Kira can't. I can cast water walk, but that's not useful.
You could do water breathing. I know that's warlocks of a specific type. And
yeah, I think it's very much a.
Bothrid can do it.
That's what I thought. I thought druids would be able to. I mean, it's a nature spell, so.
Yeah, of course.
Concentration up to an hour.
Up to 10 willing creatures.
Yeah, it's
water breathing is great. Isn't
That
it
is
ritual cast as
fucking
well?
ridiculous. It lasts for 24 hours.
Oh yeah, it does that as well.
This spell grants up to 10 willing creatures you can see within range the ability to breathe underwater until the spell ends. But it is a No, it's not. It's a ritual spell. It's not even concert. That is fucking ridiculous.
I think it was probably one of the spells of we're completely ruling out our entire sort of area in which the whole of your party can go if we don't give you this spell. So therefore, it's very OP, but not because it doesn't really help you do anything apart from be in an area.
I mean, it does.
I mean, yes, of course.
You can go underwater.
I was about to say, if we tried to get down to the throne, we'd all die. You know, all of our bubbles would go, and we start losing hearts, and then we.
But it won't even eat to his spell slot because whenever it starts getting close to the time, we'll just ritual cast it. So
that beats my concentration of up to an hour.
Yeah, as long as he ritual casts it,
that's sorted.
Hours and 50 minutes in, we get the next day as well.
Somebody's going to have to remind me when we long rest before we get to Essenir, then, if that's where we're going.
Let's make it.
Needs to pack
let's make it 20. Let's make it 23 hours. Let's not cut it right into the.
What do you mean, like in a fight?
Second, when it gets to 23 hours, like cool. Okay, let's just.
So.
Yeah.
So. If we could breathe for 24 hours, we'd still get probably levels of exhaustion swimming down to the bottom.
Of course, you'd still have to.
Still have to swim.
I think it might affect that as well.
I don't think it does.
I'm thinking.
I don't.
We don't need to bring the island up.
Yeah, we're going to have swim, and we're also going to have disadvantages on things, and in fights, on swinging things, it's.
I'll just cast freedom of movement on all of us. It's fine.
Oh, nice.
Essentially, we need breathing underwater, freedom of movement.
We're high level. This is what happens. Like.
Well, yeah, but Danny, you're gonna have to remember that basically, if it's not within your first range, you cannot hit anything.
Yeah.
So, what's your first range? Not the disadvantage range, but what's your first range?
For what?
For your arrows, for your bow and arrow.
150 feet.
Okay, so it's disadvantage, if I understand correctly. Disadvantage and only 150 feet, and 160 feet, it will not hit. Just end off. So.
Yep.
Not that that's a particular matter for you, because that's a ridiculous bow, but do you know what I mean? If you've got disadvantage, it means you can never get sneak attack, because it'll only ever be a straight roll. So you're going to have to get close up with a dagger. So when we're up against the Kraken, because we know our DM...
We killed the Kraken before. I bet it'll be the Kraken's
Killed
babies.
a Kraken.
Yeah. So... We don't need to raise the island, we just need to bring the throne back. So if we can locate object, breathe underwater, find it, bring it back.
Yeah, locate object is only up until 1,000 feet, which is not a lot.
And 10 minutes.
Yep.
You have to get within... You have to do 1,000 feet in 10 minutes if you are already in range.
If you cast fly whilst under the water, can you then swim really fast like a torpedo?
Nope, because that gives you a flying speed, not a swimming speed.
What about if I fly really high and then dive like a hawk straight into the water?
Probably some blood.
Give you a surge, just because of physics.
Terminal velocity. Straight in.
I'd probably give you like a movement and a half, and then you'd slow down.
Oh, that's not worth it. For the bludgeoning damage to my face.
Here we go
And-
with freedom of movement. Well, as we've seen before. Sorry, go on, Sam.
Freedom of movement.
Yeah.
Being in the water imposes no penalties on the target's movement or attacks.
Oh.
So
It is, however, a 4th level spell, and if I'm to and it only lasts for an hour, and if I'm to do that on every one of us, I will run out of 4th level spells and use a 5th level. Because I can't. It's a spell that you can't upcast, or upcasting it gives no further benefits.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah.
you don't get
Just
you
uses
have an
that
extra
slot.
person. Yeah.
Right, so the next plan, we literally need to just boil the lake somehow.
Well, I mean, I was going to say that I can turn into a. This would only be good in a fight, I suppose. I have a swim speed as a hybrid werebear or a full bear that's slightly more. It's like 40 feet instead of 30 feet. That's literally the only time it would be helpful because I can only do it for a minute.
If you, like the control water spell or the water, how much water can you control at once?
50 foot cube.
I'm just thinking
That's
you
a
could just
very-
pick up all the
Very
water,
good point.
pick it all
I
up,
can't control
get the
a
throat.
lake.
Would have-
That's for sure.
It's a 100 foot
Exactly,
cube.
one big-
It's not a lot.
Okay.
There's a cube up to 100 feet on one side, on a side.
That's like the throne room when you find it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I can create a whirlpool that pulls us all to the bottom, but
There we go. That's the
Yeah,
most
it's
sensible
quite a
plan we've had so
high
far.
Spell though to use, isn't it?
hmm?
Quite a high spell to use.
4th level, yeah.
Hang
It's a
about.
4th level, yeah.
We're being stupid. Brallan's a fucking aqueous fishman, isn't he? He could just do it for us. He's Aquaman.
The other thing you've got to
He's a
work
Triton.
out, which I know it could be one of those you've got to get down there, and then you've got to maybe press a button and it raises the island, but which could be the truth. But we do have to work out a way of not just getting down there, but actually getting it to be an actual city that you can trade with and own Nylon from. So
Under the sea.
I mean, if the lake is less than 300 feet deep, I can literally Moses the shit out of it. Because
That's
control
true.
water has part water, which is you cause water in the area to move apart and create a trench.
and
The
then-
trench extends across the spell's area, and the separated water forms form a wall to either side.
Brilliant. And then you
Problem solved.
caper
That's
the
up to 10
mountebank
minutes.
to bugger off down there. Danny flies. We're all good again. We're there. Brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way this is gonna go wrong. Like, we fully prepared for all of this.
I feel like that's going to be the D&D player's curse now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but I think Brallan might be able to help you with that sort of stuff. He could be the other side. I think he could do some. I think he's done it before. Some control water shit when we were fighting a kraken. He's done
I
that
did.
for
I was
So,
actually-
stuff,
I mean,
hasn't
to
he?
be fair, that whole
Sure.
crew has abilities that are based around water. Those that are like have got any magical ability, it's to do with either water or storms or weather.
don't
Those sorts of
suppose-
things.
Let's leave him up in
Hedam is a sea turtle, is he?
Well, he's a turtle.
Yeah, but he's got the feet, not the
But,
fins, so he's not a sea
He's
turtle.
also
is
a storm sorcerer.
he? Yeah.
Yes, storm sorcerer.
What about if you froze the lake and then smashed it to bits?
Just cast Dawn on top of it and leave it to brew.
Now we're coming in with constructive ideas. Now we're taking it seriously.
I
No,
mean,
we're getting more and more.
dawn
insane.
rises every day.
Just
Ah,
use divine intervention to
Bring
That's probably the best way to go forward about doing something.
yeah.
Yeah, bring the island back.
We'll just take
I was-
days off, and in each of those days, I'll just cast
Just
divine
try it.
intervention until it works.
I was going to
Every other
say
day,
I'll get as many
raise the lake.
fireballs as I can and just chuck them all in.
I mean, the lake does go across half the map, remember?
It's fine. We'll create dams on each side, and then that'll be it.
Yeah, we just need loads
Stop
of
the flow of
beavers.
the lake.
Gonna drain it.
Bofford can talk to the animals, and then we'll dam it off, and it'll gradually get lower and lower and lower.
Yes.
What? And if we
So
tell the
Bothrid
orcs
is going to
in
become
English-
king of the beavers.
Yeah, Bothrid just needs to cast summon woodland creatures or whatever the spell is, and just get a bunch of beavers. Every
Yeah.
time.
start
The Disney
chopping
princess
trees.
spell.
I mean, we joke about this, but this would be amazing in a session. Like, somebody turning into a beaver and conjuring a load of beavers and just damming a river.
Yeah, it would be awesome.
Would be fucking phenomenal.
I'm all for it. If it doesn't happen next week, I'll be disappointed, and I'll quit the show.
Make
You
this
heard it
happen.
here first, folks.
Just need to find a Suckle of the Shepherd. Yeah, we'll just have Bothrid change his subclass to Suckle of the Shepherd.
Yeah, we just need to make sure he has such an event next week that he can change subclass, like a traumatic experience, where let's get him attacked by goats or something, so that he wants to become.
He'll just meet a colony of beavers.
Bothrid gets
traumatic
overrun by a
event.
flock of sheep.
The only way to do this is find a shepherd.
Or he unlocks repressed memories where he was actually raised by beavers as a child in the woods, and then that revelation unleashes the power. The power of
I'm pretty sure that's a ranger backstory right there.
The true power of Bothrid. Oh my god.
Oh dear me.
That's amazing.
Oh, that was amazing. Fucking hell.
Well,
Well,
we can't
we've
top
got
that. We just got to
a
end the
lot-
show.
I was going to say, we've got a lot to figure out next week now.
Yeah, we have. And remember,
We do.
tell the airship what we're doing.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's
Why
I'm going
don't
to
you-
leave Captain Swift in the fucking middle of nowhere again.
Again.
not again. I'm actually going to write that down, otherwise I will. forget.
Also, in the very short amount of words, tell them not to fly over any forest. We don't even know what's in that skillion. It's like, do not crash into another forest.
Yeah,
Yes, please.
and
Do not.
they
end up in a
actually might
Feywild
have some
again.
ideas about how we can go about it with the lake, with all of their combined powers. They might actually have a
You
rational
not just
idea.
realised. Next Monday is episode 80.
Nice.
Yeah.
I thought you was going to say
Indeed.
beavers are extinct in Ireland. I thought that's what you was going to say. they were
Sad,
hunted.
tragic end.
What I've just
Yeah,
read.
it's like fox hunting, but with beavers.
Yeah. In 20 episodes,
Yeah.
it's episode 100.
I know.
We need to fix it. We need to solve it by episode 100. Because ending on 100 would be quite a good for my OCD.
Oh my god, that'll be a good flex. That'll be a good flex.
Start
That would
about
be good
5 o'clock on Monday and just go through till midnight.
Oh my god, we pull a critical roll Vecna fight. Jeez.
Oh shit.
I'm not saying it won't be episode 100 parts 1 through 30.
100.1, 100.2.
Shit, you know, I
Every
know a
single
stream that did
episode.
that though.
Every single
That
episode.
decided they were going to end on 100. Yeah, they decided they were going to end on 100, but had to do more. So it was part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4. Amazing stream, an amazing story. So
Oh, brilliant. Oh, my
good
goodness
stuff.
me. Right,
until
well,
Monday then.
Yeah, till Monday. We know what we're doing, right? My goodness me. It's gonna
The
be
episode should be titled Revenge of the Beaver. Sounds like a dodgy porno, doesn't it?
I was going to say, and his history finally catches up with him.
It's my search history.
I mean, where'd you go with that? Where'd you go? I don't know. I don't know what you did. Guys, thank you ever so much for following us, following this wacky little stream tonight. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you have enjoyed our campaign thus far on Monday nights. If you're following us live on Twitch, thank you very much indeed. Give us a follow if you can. Subscribe, we'd really appreciate it. If you're watching on YouTube, then give us a like and subscribe on there. We would greatly appreciate that. And of course, if you are listening on the podcast, then thank you again, as my cat jumps over me for the 20th time tonight, I think. Anyway, thank you ever so much for tuning in tonight. Thank you so much. Have a lovely evening.